Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all, guys. Welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Full 100. Today is Wednesday, the 10th of March, and it is the Hump Day. Guys, where the topic we're touching on right now is a topic everyone's speaking about, but I'm going to address it from a different angle. There's no point doing what the news is doing anyway, so we're going to touch on a different level. The show's titled Meghan versus Piers, Class versus Animal, Civilized versus Uncivilized. That basically tells it all. Meghan's got class. That pig, Piers Morgan, or whatever the hell his name is just another one of those Millwall football supporters. Classless, uncivilized, uncultured. So guys, one extra bonus. At the end of the show, we're going to tell you who it was that spoke those words about Archie, Prince Harry and Meghan's son, about the colour of his skin and how much darker it might be. We got a revelation for you guys, so stay tuned and watch to the end of the show. Without further ado, let's get down to today's show. Guys, I want to show two videos first. Before I say anything else, I want to show you the difference in these two characters. You see, Kate Middleton, bless her, I got nothing against the woman, but she never achieved anything in her life. All she was waiting for a rich husband to come along. She was a nursery school girl, taught in nursery school. I know many local girls in every inner city, every corner of the country who was doing what she was doing, but I guess they weren't living in the same quality house that she was living in. She's never achieved anything, and that to me is the crux of their beef with Meghan. Meghan's come along, high achiever, world renowned, UN ambassador, you name it. She didn't get it because she was married to somebody. She got it because she did it by herself. Kate Middleton will probably get a UN ambassador one day. It wasn't because they saw a nursery school teacher and plucked her out of the nursery school and went and gave her that. It was because she got married to the royal family. That's why she will get it. And that's one of them. You see people like Piers Morgan. That's one of his main. That's what riles him. Yeah, because as much as they want to say about Kate Middleton, look how our white girl. Listen, anyone who watches this know I got nothing against fair-minded white folk. I roll and I love anyone who's fair-minded. I don't care what race you are. But when you're racist, you become an animal to me. You become uncultured. So my first two videos just shows that the caliber of these two people we're talking about. So take a look at Piers first. I can only stand 9 seconds of him, so you're only going to see a 9-second video. Meghan's is about 35 seconds. So take a look at these two videos.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome American TV and film actress and UN Women's Advocate for Political Participation and Leadership, Meghan Markle.
Well, good evening. That doesn't feel like enough, does it? It's just great evening. Maybe that's better. UN Secretary General, Executive Director Pumzile, thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am tremendously honored to be UN Women's Advocate for Political Participation and Leadership.
This is a 2-hour trash-a-thon. They portray the royal family as racist, and it's a very incendiary charge, and I don't think it actually is fair to the royal family.
Welcome back, guys. Now, clearly, these are two, Piers Morgan bullied his way as a white man to the top of his food chain. Pretty easy for anyone to do. Very, very easy. If you have his schooling, trust me, if you have his schooling and you're a white man, his achievement is nothing. Is standard. Is the minimum you should be achieving with your education. Yeah? Meghan Markle, on the other hand, with her upbringing, coming from a divorced family, biracial family, and all the stresses that, what would have kept her back, she still managed to outdo this idiot. She still managed to cut him off, which is one of his main peeves. So take a look at this clip now. This guy denying her mental health story. How cruel can that be? Take a look at my next clip.
OK, you've said that you wanted your say, and we've let you have your say. Can I just have my say as well on this? They have dropped bombshells, no doubt about it. They have described what they said was an almost unsurvivable experience. They have both said that they felt controlled within the royal family, that they felt trapped, that they felt at risk, that their security was removed. Race, obviously, they claim played a part in that, and they made very serious accusations, as Piers says. But Meghan has, within this interview, said it got so bad that she was suicidal. And I think a lot of people will feel extremely concerned about that. So
OK, again, let's have the names. Who did you go to? What did they say to you? I'm sorry, I don't believe a word she says, Meghan Markle.
Well, that's a
I wouldn't believe it if she read me a weather report. And the fact that she's fired up this onslaught against our royal...
I mean, someone saying that they had suicidal thoughts, I don't think you can say that she was lying at that point. She had these thoughts, pretty serious ones. She took them to HR. Now, look...
Welcome back, guys. I mean, even his co-presenters are trying to see this from a civilized perspective. That's all I can say. It's not a non-racist perspective. It's not. It's a civilized perspective, people. Let's call it what it is. All these news channels are talking about, oh, we're denying racism. They are behaving uncivilized. Someone needs to call it out. That's the big difference between what I'm airing on this and what all of the other news channels are calling out. These people are animals. And I've noticed what Piers Morgan is now doing. And all these right-wing people I've noticed since Trump. They've learned from Trump that if you can double down on your opinions. No matter how racist or hated you are, you know, you can double down on it. So like what's that idiot woman? Katie Hopkins. So like what Katie Hopkins would do. Go on TV and talk about, I don't give my children names of places. Yet one of her children is called Asia. But yeah, she would double down. Like, you know, this is the caliber of these people. As educated as they come across, as royal as they might be. I told you now, I think the royal family are unflipping civilized. Because they're racist. The royal family are uncivilized. Anyone who will ask a question like that of an expectant mother or expectant father is uncivilized. Because the color, a baby is a baby. When you start thinking babies are different, you're living in the dark ages and it makes you unflipping civilized, my people. Let's call it what it is. Guys, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I'm trying to keep this video short because it's not affecting any of our lives. It's just a topic of conversation right now. Next two videos I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys the view from the outside world because many people don't watch. Many of my viewers probably don't watch CNN ever. They don't see the perspective from outside of the UK. All we're seeing is the UK newspapers and the UK version or take on it. If it's right wing, they're insulting her and they're angry and how dare this black woman do this to our beloved royal family. They forget the racism, they forget the uncivilized questions, and they forget the poor state, the mental health of these two lovely people, in the sense that you're cutting out their security. Why would you do that? If she was white, would they be cutting out their security, both of them? Archie, their baby, no security? What, because he's not a white, all white, blue-eyed baby? They forget all of that. They're angry that she told her story. As they do. They get angry when we say Black Lives Matter because we want to talk our story. We want to express how mad we are about racism. They get mad at that. They get mad at any type of, you know, expose of their behavior, of their uncivilized behavior. So here's a look of how this is being viewed from outside of the UK, guys.
Did you leave the country because of racism?
It was a large part of it.
It's the interview stirring emotions across Britain. Reactions ranging from shock to vitriolic rants by a popular white TV host, to angry and protective tabloid headlines. So why does the mention of racism provoke such defensive reactions in Britain? In the months after Prince Harry and Meghan stepped back as senior members of the royal family, Britain faced its own moment of racial reckoning.
Say his name! George Floyd!
Black Lives Matter protests in the US spread to the UK. Tens of thousands directed their anger at the country's elite institutions of power, toppling icons of British colonialism that ignited a national debate. Yet the topic of race is considered culturally awkward, if not outright taboo.
The British like to think of themselves as quite liberal, with a small L, but it's a combination of misogyny and racism, and they're triggered.
From the moment Meghan's relationship with a member of the royal family became public, her race became the subject of constant tabloid fodder and discontent. During the couple's engagement, the Queen's cousin's wife apologized after wearing a controversial brooch many considered racist when she met Meghan for the first time. The couple's multicultural royal wedding offered hopes of societal change, but soon after, the racist backlash continued. Meghan endured attacks for things as mundane as avocados, while her white sister-in-law, by comparison, was praised. When Meghan became pregnant with her first child, a wave of racist online abuse followed from social media trolls. After her son was born, one television presenter was fired for liking him to a picture of a chimpanzee. Through the barrage of racist attacks against his wife, Harry says he came to terms with his role in a historically white institution.
My upbringing and the system of which I was brought up in and what I've been exposed to, I wasn't aware of it to start with. Sad as it is to say, it takes living in her shoes.
There is only one person in the world who knows what it means to be a British royal of colour, Meghan.
Welcome back, guys. I got one last video, another perspective as well. I mean, I'm airing these because these are perspectives that we're not seeing on our TV unless you're looking for that, okay? So before I air this last video, I want to say this. I believe it's time that African nations leave the Commonwealth. All black nations leave the Commonwealth. I believe it's time the Commonwealth just become a white club. Because for many decades now, they don't get nothing. They send for them when they needed them. They formed the Commonwealth so that they can think they're part of a brotherhood. As soon as they were done with them, they became meaningless to those nations. It's meaningless to them. What do they get? They don't get visa relaxation. They used to decades ago. Now they don't. They haven't for many years, if not decades even, for many decades. What do they get? They get nothing. It's time. You see, this next video I'm going to show you, it tells you about the missed opportunity, how great it would have been to show the Commonwealth, to send Meghan to the Commonwealth nations, to tour let her be the queen of the Commonwealth people, the nations. Imagine how much more connections the black nations would have had with this royal family. But that wasn't on their agenda. So take a look at this last video. When we come back, I'm going to tell you who it was that said those mean, uncivilized, nasty words about Archie, the little baby. Take a look.
None of this is certainly new to them. And basically at the end of that, they're saying Harry, Meghan, and Archie will always be much-loved family members. They're not saying they're going to continue to be part of the royal family or royals or what have you, but they'll always be beloved family members. So they're going to be in the family, except they're not going to be official royals anymore. That's how I see it. That's how I read the statement. It's a masterful statement that really says, it addresses it without really addressing the problem.
In the interview with Oprah, Donna, you'll remember this, Harry actually said Meghan was one of the greatest assets to the Commonwealth that the family could have ever wished for. She and her children also gave the royal family the opportunity to become a diverse family. How damaging is it to have wasted that opportunity?
I think that many people will agree with that statement, that it was an opportunity for the royal family to have diversity and to really move into the modern era. I think that they had an asset in Meghan and they didn't realize what they had, or that some members of the royal family may have been resentful, perhaps even jealous of the attention that Meghan and Harry were getting, especially Meghan. So yeah, I do think it is a missed opportunity because as we are looking forward at the world today, the demographics in America are changing. The demographics in Europe are changing. The demographics all over the world are changing. And it's changing in favor of biracial people, a more multicultural society. And this was an opportunity that was handed to them on a silver platter, and they squandered it.
I really mean that. I think the black nation should just depart as a bloc, just depart the Commonwealth. Let it remain Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Britain. Anyway, guys, the big reveal. It's common sense, guys. It was Kate Middleton. I'll tell you why. If you watch the interview, the way Harry, it was told to Harry, it wasn't told to Meghan. They couldn't tell that to Meghan. And I believe that Prince William would not tell it to his brother. I believe that it's a conversation that Prince William and Kate Middleton had. And I believe that Kate Middleton approached Harry as, you know, big sister kind of, well, Harry, are you sure do you know how dark that baby might be, Harry? Are you sure about this? And I think Harry then went and told Meghan. And when you hear Meghan say that Kate Middleton made her cry, I think that's the incident. So you heard it here first. It was Kate Middleton, okay? That's who said it. So guys, with that, I'm going to sign out. If you like what we do, guys, as usual, please hit the subscribe button. Show us some love. Show us that you appreciate the little effort that we put in to bring these information to yourselves. I also have a last update on Rimmel, who I featured on Monday's show. Anyone who saw that, you saw that he was waiting on a test so he could fly out tonight, Wednesday, and arrive back tomorrow morning. Sadly to tell you, they told him that he's tested positive again for coronavirus. So he's got another 2 weeks again now. I've advised him today, I've spoken to him today, I've told him today to get a test, a do-it-yourself test from the UK, sent to one of his family members. Let them DHL or FedEx it out to him. He will get it before that 2 weeks is out. He will get it in 4 days. Take your own test and let them run it through, because something's just not right about it. So guys, if you watch that video, please go back to that video and help donate and help this guy, because he's stuck for another 2 weeks realistically right now. Okay, so guys, listen, I wish you all a fantastic rest of the week. Please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on Friday for the last show of the week. Take care. Bye bye.